Hey, what's going on, everyone? James and I'm Berserk. Welcome back to another YouTube video. And yes, I'm going to be going over the final episode of Big Brother Reindeer games. And as you guys can see here, Nicole has won the competition with Taylor as the runner-up and Frank and Xavier getting both third and fourth, respectively. So how did this happen? So the episode starts with everyone talking about getting to work so that they can win the 100,000K. Everyone is literally just preparing for the Reindeer games at this point, and they're waiting to see what happens. And almost immediately, Tiffany announces that the Reindeer games will be tournament style with two head-to-head matchups, meaning there will be two 1v1s, and there will be a final showdown to crown the first winner of the Reindeer games, based on the winner of both head-to-head rounds. But before then, they have to do one more naughty and nice challenge, which is to identify a fake painting from all the paintings across the house, which happened because teenage elves stole a painting and swapped it out for a fake one. Huh, interesting. Anyways, Xavier says he has been studying the painting since day one, so he believes he's got this in the bag. Xavier figures out that the Mona Blitzen has been replaced with the Mona Vixen and wins the competition. So yeah, Xavier found out really quickly. He did study and it paid off at the end. And his advantage was that he gets to make the brackets for the tournament, and the player Xavier chooses to go against will have to face a 30-second disadvantage. Now, Nicole is worried because she believes that she will likely go up against Xavier, but she is hopeful that Xavier might choose Frankie because Frankie is a big threat. Taylor also does want Xavier to go against Frankie in order to take Frankie out of the game. Taylor and Xavier are aiming to be at the final two together as well. And, well, Xavier chooses to go against Nicole in the tournament, meaning that Frankie and Taylor will go against each other. So, Frankie believes that Xavier should have chosen him instead of Nicole because of the 30-second disadvantage. Frankie states that if he was in that position, he would have chosen Xavier to go against so that Xavier would have taken the penalty. But anyways, enough about that. Xavier believes that battling Nicole will give him the best chance to make it to the final round in the tournament. And obviously, Nicole is worried, but she knows that she has beaten the odds before because, like when she beat Josh. So, with that being said, for the first competition of the Reindeer Games, Xavier and Nicole will have to reassemble their nutcrackers by using pins to attach 28 gears in a way where they all interconnect and spin like a machine, which will crack their walnut. The first person to finish wins and is in the final round of the Reindeer Games. Nicole's strategy is to just focus on her own puzzle, and this puzzle is known to be extremely tough. Nicole decides to try to spin the gears every time she places a gear in order to make sure that she has it right. Xavier struggles to get his gears spinning, and we also learn that Nicole's strategy does end up working. However, Frankie does notice from the sidelines that Nicole does have a spinning gear that does not spin any other gears, which explains why she is struggling to get the last few pieces in. Nicole eventually resolves it and goes on to win, knocking Xavier out of the game, which is a big deal because Xavier was like one of the people I was expecting to win the game. But, nothing else he can do now. The walnuts, oh yeah, and by the way, the walnuts did end up releasing candy once it broke. And Nicole was in shock, and she was so excited that she was able to beat Xavier. And Taylor, she is just way too focused on getting rid of Frankie at this point. There's been a bitter rivalry between Taylor and Frankie. Well, maybe it's one-sided. Well, from the looks of it, it seems to be more one-sided. But, you know what? Why not, right? So for the second competition of the semifinals, Frankie and Taylor need to apprehend mischievous elves by listening to the bulletin with their headphones, describing the 5 elves that they are looking for. Then they must use a slingshot with ornaments as cannonballs to knock down the elves. If they guess it wrong when they hit the buzzer, all their elves come back up and they must start over. And if they accidentally knock the wrong elf down, they will have to hit the buzzer to reset. So basically, this is a competition where you cannot mess around. So, what we learned from the guy on the announcer, the 5 elves that they must knock down are members of what they are known as the Candy Cane Gang, who always hold a candy cane. 3 of the elves had green jackets and green boots, and the other 2 guilty elves had green striped hats. The elves that were guilty were elves 3, 5, 7, 9, and 13. Oh yeah, and by the way, there were like 15 elves. I forgot to put that in the script, but there were like a total of 15 elves that were targets, and they had to choose like 5 of them. So yeah. So at the beginning of the competition, Taylor accidentally knocks down elf 10 and does have to end up reset. Nonetheless, the competition does become neck and neck. And although Frankie did have the edge over Taylor, he accidentally knocked down the wrong elf and had to reset, which allowed Taylor to knock her last elf down and eliminate Frankie from the game. Now, this was shocking because I wasn't expecting it to be Nicole and Taylor, and neither was a lot of people, so that was a pretty big deal. Anyways, after this elimination, the first 5 eliminated contestants and all of the elf ambassadors come back together just so that they can meet Santa Claus. And Josh is excited about meeting Santa Claus, of course, but Brittany is really not happy to see Santa, as Santa was the person who created the Reindeer games, which caused he created the rules of the Reindeer games, and there was a lot of drama involved during this competition. So yeah, that was pretty funny. But anyways, the 5 eliminated contestants do eventually learn that Xavier and Frankie have been knocked out of the game, and they are completely shocked. Although Danielle is happy that the 2 girls made it to the end, she is rooting for Taylor to win. I guess that makes sense. For the finals of the Reindeer games, both players have to gather 3 enchanted items: the magical mistletoes, the ancient antlers, and the sacred snowflakes. To gather the magical mistletoe, they must stack 9 star-shaped Christmas tree layers and climb them in order to get to the high mistletoe. For the magic antlers, they must guide the antlers through a 3D maze by rotating 3 sections of the maze to make sure it is correct. And for the sacred snowflake, they must stack 32 snowflakes by using the sacred snowflake as a foundation. There are 4 bags containing 8 snowflakes each, and you can't open your next bag until all snowflakes that have been opened are stacked. The first person to bring the 3 artifacts to the Merry Magic Maker, which is where they have to place the artifacts, and hit their buzzer, wins. We learned from the first part of the finals is that Nicole is afraid of heights. Uh-oh, that is not good. But anyways, Taylor decided that her strategy is to start her stack with like six sturdy stacks, and then place like 1 foam stack on top of those 6, and then place 2 smaller stacks on top of it. Taylor and Nicole do end up learning that climbing this tree is not going to be easy, as this tree can be very unstable, and Taylor does end up getting her mistletoe first, while Nicole is struggling. And Nicole eventually makes it to the top, but her stack is too far away from the mistletoe because her stack is like curved away from the mistletoe, so she ends up having to make a jump for it. And fortunately for her, she does get the mistletoe. We also learned that the antler maze is also very difficult. And during this part of the section, we learned from Josh that he wants Nicole to win because she knocked him out of the game. He also mentions how exciting this showdown is between Nicole and Taylor because there are 2 female Big Brothers winners that are battling out. Obviously, it's not just Josh who mentions it. Cameron does also mention it as well, and a few others as well that I forgot about. But anyways, Taylor gets the maze done first and works on the snowflake stacking. Nicole is once again starting to feel hopeless, but by the time Nicole completes the maze, Taylor is already on her second bag of snowflakes, so she really, really does have to pick it up. Nicole does eventually catch up to Taylor as Taylor's stack keeps falling off, and Nicole was able to actually stack her first 16 snowflakes before Taylor, so Nicole is able to open her third bag before Taylor. But then shortly afterwards, Nicole's stack begins to fall, and this race becomes competitive once again. Taylor is able to open her third bag afterwards, and Taylor realizes that she is going to have to need to make a wide base with the snowflakes she has in order to keep the snowflake more stable, which is pretty smart, but it's not going to be easy. It is very close as both players are continually losing their stacks, and we also learn from Xavier that he is also rooting for Taylor. After the race becomes neck and neck for a while, Nicole is able to stack her first 3 bags, meaning she is on her last bag, and the last bag is really just a bunch of small snowflakes, so it's really not too difficult to stack. So that explains why Nicole easily finishes her last bag, and then the competition is over. Nicole ends up winning the Reindeer games, and not only did she save Christmas and win the $100,000, but she also ends up getting a big trophy. And the season ends with everybody singing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." So here are the final stats, and wow, this has been what a journey. I did have I did have somewhat of a feeling that Nicole was gonna win, but I didn't think that. But I thought her odds of winning were smaller than Frankie and Xavier. I mean, I knew that she had better odds than Taylor, of course, but wow. Congratulations to Nicole. I know some people are not going to be happy about Nicole winning. I know, but hey, we got to give her props. She is a really, really good player. like by far one of the strongest players out there. And hopefully Nicole sticks to her words and stops doubting herself. But yeah, with that being said, this has been fun going over this entire season with you guys. I really hope you guys have enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.